on ESPN. Michigan State and Purdue tied at 72. Meanwhile, we go to Gainesville. It's Florida and Ole Miss. Guys, take it away.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN. And we welcome you to Super Tuesday, presented by Hotels.com. It's the Ole Miss Rebels, winners of 3 of their last 4 in Gainesville tonight to take on the Florida Gators, winners of 8 straight at home in the SEC. Hello, everybody, from inside the O'Connell Center on the campus of University of Florida. I'm Rich Hollenberg alongside Dino Gaudio. And Dino, ever since Joe Lunardi has tracked this season's bracketology, he's had the Gators in the tournament. Why is that?
Rich, Florida has outstanding numbers for inclusion in the NCAA tournament field. RPI of 23, non-conference strength of schedule, which is 2, which is superb because they beat WVU 10 days ago. Had games with Purdue, at Miami, Florida, at Michigan State. And one of the big reasons, Rich, this is a very good defensive team.
That's right, Dino, and that defense will face a stiff test tonight against the SEC's top scorer, 7th in the nation, Stephon Moody.
Well, here's what else he can do. Big inbound here. He can pass it. This is a big assist against Vanderbilt. This kid has deep NBA three-point range and is an incredibly explosive athlete for Ole Miss.
Averaging 23.5 a game over the course of the season, almost 25 a game in conference play, had 23 in the last time out, and a career-high 8 boards in that win Saturday at Vanderbilt. Ole Miss comes in 15-8, tied with a lot of people in the SEC because it is a very middle-heavy conference right now, but they're 5-5. UF at 15-8 as well, but they're 1 game up in the SEC standings at 6-4. The Gators are in their home whites and the Cardinal red road unis for the Ole Miss Rebels. Our officials, Anthony Jordan, Ron Groover, Tony Green, and we're set to go. And right off the bat, freshman Kayvon Allen opens the score.
Now, Ole Miss doesn't want to start like they did in game 1. They were down 8-0 and 15-2.
Here's Moody, 42 in red. Five on the shot clock for Brooks. Had to force the shot, and somehow he got it to go.
But you know what, Rich? That was terrific defense in a half court by Florida. Good defense, better offense.
Florida's the 2nd best defense points-wise in the SEC, allowing just 66.4 a game. There's Dorian Finney-Smith, 10 in white, one of the best all-around players in the league. He has it on the wing. His first shot, short. And the rebound goes to Hyman. And a traveling violation called on number 1 in red, Martavius Newby. First turnover for the Ole Miss Rebels. And speaking of Ole Miss, this young man, Mike White, is the head coach of Florida, but spent a good deal of his formative years as an Ole Miss Rebel. 4 years as a player, a number of years as an assistant, and now he already has 1 win against his former team when they met back in January at the Pavilion in Oxford.
How good did it have to feel for Mike White to go into Ole Miss in the new arena and come out with a resounding win against his old team. Now, we see Florida switch the first ball screen. That's why Dorian Finney-Smith is on Moody, and they switch again.
Brooks had it stolen away by Allen. Allen, all the way to the hole, got fouled, and Kayvon Allen, the freshman, will go to the line and shoot 2. Well, when you talk about the elder statesman in the SEC, you don't necessarily think of AK, Andy Kennedy, but he's been at Oxford for 10 years. He's averaged 21 wins a year in his first 9, and with a win tonight, he will move into a tie for 4th place for fastest to 100 wins at a school in the SEC, tying Rick Stansbury.
And Rich, already the winningest basketball coach in Ole Miss history. Yeah. I mean, that's hard to believe. He's developed what tradition they have at Ole Miss. Kayvon Allen, game 1, 27 points, 9 for 11 from the field. Ole Miss better find him in transition.
He has the first 3 points for the Gators tonight.
Running Moody off the baseline now.
Gators really packing it in. Here's the first shot for Moody. Too strong, and the rebound to Justin Leon. Nice feed inside. Chiozza to Egbunu.
That's a great pass, but Ole Miss help side defense has to be there, Rich. You can't throw that ball over the top without having a help defender in the lane.
Chris Chiozza, the point guard for the Gators, averaging 6.3 dimes a game. That's second in the SEC. Perez, short. Leon, another two-hand rebound, and it'll be Florida Gators basketball.
Well, they take away the help side defense, but that's number one. Newby has to be in there help side. That ball, if you're fronting the post, and I like it, I think that's what you need to do. Play the post guy before he catches it. Do your work early, but you need help on the weak side.
Some token full court pressure. Moody in the front court. And Chiozza and Finney-Smith handle that. Allen had 27 the last time these two played, and he's off to a terrific start tonight, Dino.
He is that. And Andy Kennedy talked about it's a scouting report thing. You got to know where he is. We got to close out on him, find him at the back of our press. And Rich, how about coming in at the table?
Here's Sebastian Saiz. He's not sporting those glasses as a fashion statement. He had retina surgery a few weeks ago, missed the last 6 games for Ole Miss. He's the second leading rebounder in this conference, averaging nearly a double-double. Good to have him back.
And Rich, after having the retina surgery, has not practiced, wasn't even allowed to shoot until yesterday. So his conditioning will be a factor in this one. Let's watch closely.
Andy Kennedy telling us earlier today he'll be happy to just get any kind of minutes out of Saiz. Egbunu goes right to work on him. He misses. And Gielo had the rebound. Just one field goal in the first 3.5 minutes. Moody has the green light whenever he touches the ball. Brooks in the paint, yes. And Rasheed Brooks has all 5 of Ole Miss's first 5 points. Here's Moody, no numbers, he pulls it back out.
Really good transition defense by Florida.
Egbunu shows on the hedge. Saiz's first shot, and that's a great sign for the Rebels.
It is a great sign. And you see what Ole Miss is doing? They're putting Egbunu in those ball screens because he doesn't move as well laterally. A great find finding Saiz.
Sebastian Saiz averaging 15.4 in conference play, but again, missed his last 6 games. Here's Egbunu. Right-hand hook, no good. Gielo the rebound. Tie ball game, 15-20 to go. And it's out of bounds, another unforced error for the Ole Miss Rebels. They're 4th in the opening stanza.
Well, this guy hasn't practiced or played in a month, but man, looks like that thing just flows off his fingertips. Saiz with 2.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Hotels.com, the obvious choice for hotels. And in part by Scottrade. Our passion is to power yours.
Welcome back to Super Tuesday, presented by Hotels.com from the University of Florida in Gainesville. 7-all tie between the Gators and the Ole Miss Rebels. Inside the O'Connell Center, alongside Dino Gaudio, I'm Rich Hollenberg. Dino, we're tied now, and these two teams are no strangers to close games. As a matter of fact, it was almost a year to go to the day that Ole Miss came in here and won a thriller, and it came on the hands of Stephon Moody, the leading scorer in the SEC. Last year, it came down to the final seconds, and Moody, from beyond NBA range, knocks this down with 2.7 to go.
And Chiozza's right there, Rich. Nice contest. Look at number 11 in white. That's about as well as you can contest the shot. But as we know, Stephon Moody, deep NBA three-point range.
Finished with 18 on the game, and he's a Kissimmee kid, only about an hour and a half away from Gainesville, Florida. He told me before the game he has about 40 friends and family that have somehow found tickets inside the O'Connell Center to watch him play tonight.
Well, Ole Miss early off to a much better start than they were in game 1 when they were down 8-0 and 15-2 at home against Florida.
Here's Allen. He's had the hot hand. Gets it inside. Devon Robinson, no. Here's Brooks. In the paint, gets it to go. 7 early points for Rasheed Brooks, who averages just 9.4 a game.
He's done a great job early, Rich, because if you watch Moody, now Casey Hill's on him, they're completely denying him the basketball in the half court when he gives it up.
Casey Hill, 0 and White, is checked in to run the point for Mike White's club. Here's Robinson. 5 on the shot clock. Allen hoists it. Too strong. And Devin Robinson chases it down. Here's Hill, former McDonald's All-American.
Yeah,
and the foul's going to go on Moody.
If you watch Ole Miss on defense, like when the ball gets penetrated, they're trying to stay attached to shooters. Kayvon Allen really hurt him in game 1 off of dribble penetration. So even in the zone, when guys penetrate, make sure you're locating and staying attached to the Florida shooters.
Foul goes on Moody, and it was on Dorian Finney-Smith. Those two players will get their fair share of votes for Player of the Year in the SEC this year.
As they should. As they should.
Inside Egbunu. Spins. Hits. Offense from him, a good sign for the Gators.
Well, to be good offensively, you need to have a screening game and you need to have an inside game. If Egbunu provides inside scoring, that really bodes well for the Gators.
Now, what do the Gators want to do against the top scorer in the SEC, Stephon Moody?
Well, what you're seeing, Rich, is they're trying to play him before he catches it. Watch Casey Hill just staying attached to him. Casey Hill has no help.
Brooks, high off the glass, no. Two-hand rebound by Finney-Smith. Egbunu feeling it. Little dream shake off to the left. And another offensive rebound by Devin Robinson.
You got to make sure when you're in the zone, you're not ball watching, that when that ball lets that guy's hands, you got to find somebody to box out.
Well, they met January 4th at Allen Fieldhouse and played an epic 3-overtime thriller. Kansas won it 109-106. This Saturday, the rematch. Oklahoma and Kansas from the Lloyd Noble Center. That's Saturday primetime, presented by DirecTV, 2:30 Eastern on ESPN. Stephon Moody just picked up his second foul and goes to the bench.
I think with 2 fouls, you sit him, then you bring him back in. You roll the dice with that kid.
The lob to Egbunu, no, the follow by Finney-Smith. First 2 for Dorian Finney-Smith, the redshirt senior out of Portsmouth, Virginia, averaging 23 a game over his last 3. Here's Saiz. Hit his first shot tonight. Puts it on the deck, and it goes out of bounds.
A wonderful baseline out of bounds play. They screen the back of the zone. The lob, and Dorian Finney stays with it, but a really good play by Michael White, screening the back of the zone for the lob play for the Gators.
Two reserves, 3 starters on the floor for Mike White right now. Good save by Kayvon Allen. Robinson with the pull-up. Pretty touch for number 3 in White, Devin Robinson.
What I like about Florida against the Ole Miss zone, Rich, is just not settling for jump shots. They're getting the basketball inside at the rim and shooting mid-range jump shots.
13-9 Florida lead. They're shooting 50% from the field in the early going. That shot off the mark. Egbunu corrals it. And Mike White exhorting his troops to push the tempo. Allen got caught up in the air. Freshman mistake.
Stay on your feet.
And Egbunu, another rebound. Nice lead pass to Kayvon Allen. He tried to throw it down, but he's fouled by Newby. So Kayvon Allen will go to the line and shoot 2. Timeout on the floor, 11:39 to go. It's been back and forth, but Florida has an early 4-point lead on the Rebels.
Matt Chick here in the studio with this update. North Carolina trailing Boston College, but of the utmost concern is Roy Williams. Watch as Roy Williams, during a television timeout, just collapses, appears to succumb to a dizzy spell of sorts. He was escorted and helped off to the locker room. We'll await official word coming up. North Carolina trails Boston College. Mike.
Thank you, Matt. We'll be tracking that update, eagerly anticipating hopefully some good news for Roy Williams. And you know Roy pretty well from your coaching days and from being in the North Carolina area. You know?
Yeah, Rich, he's been fighting vertigo down through the years. We just hope he had a dizzy spell and that he'll be fine. You know, we'll all say a prayer for him. But this time of year, a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, especially on a team that's lost a couple games right there. And more important thing, that just puts everything into perspective. More important things in a basketball game. We just hope the best for Coach Williams' health.
A week or so ago, we saw Mike Krzyzewski have to miss a game on the Blue Devils sideline. Now, his counterpart for the Tar Heels, Roy Williams, going down during their game against Boston College. We'll keep you posted on that. Kayvon Allen knocks down both free throws. He leads all scorers with 7 points, and it's a 15-9 Florida lead. Well, Ole Miss needs a bucket. Haven't scored in 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's what I was about to say, Rich. Coming out of the timeout, let's see where Andy Kennedy goes to try to get a basket with Moody on the bench with 2 fouls.
10 to shoot.
And I like Andy Kennedy's going to bring Moody back in the game. Like if guys had 2 fouls, some coaches sit them for the rest of the half. I was never a big believer in that. I'm a guy, like, you can lose the game in the first 10 minutes just like you can in the last 10. So Moody back in the game for Ole Miss.
Moody hasn't gotten in the scoring column yet. Turns it over on his first entrance back into the game. Robinson, step through. No. Yellow, another rebound.
Now what Moody needs to be careful of, he doesn't want to pick up the 3rd foul on a charge.
Casey Hill playing denial basketball. Newby off the mark. Yellow, offensive rebound, but we're going the other way. Strength on strength in the rebounding department. Ole Miss 4th in the conference in defensive rebounds. Florida 2nd in the conference in offensive rebounds.
Well, when the ball's in the air, that's when the fight starts in this game. And Ole Miss needs to get second shots, Rich, because easy baskets come at the rim with second shot opportunities and in transition, and they're getting no transition baskets against Florida.
Tomas Gielo at the line, a senior transfer from Liberty by way of Poland. And he's performed well the last couple of games, from 16 points a game, 50% from three-point land. And Andy Kennedy was telling us earlier, he really needs his scoring if they want to compete the rest of the way going in the SEC.
Especially when Saiz was out, this kid really stepped his game up. He has a diverse game. He could step out. He could shoot it. He could bang on the boards, as we saw right there, if they need him to.
Averaging 8.6 a game, 85% from the line, but went 1 for 2 that trip.
We talked about changing defenses. Ole Miss in a 1-3-1 now.
Steal by Brooks. Nice bounce pass to Moody. And Stephon Moody, the leading scorer in the SEC, is in the scoring column.
And Ole Miss stays in the extended 1-3-1.
Tipped away again by Brooks, but Finney Smith comes away with it. Here's Robinson. Moody comes away with it. Step through. And here comes Casey Hill. Uneven play at both ends of the floor. And Buda, his second dunk of the game.
Well, when Casey Hill's in transition, when he gets to the lane, he wants to be a passer. Hedge and fake towards him and then pick up that man filling the opposite lane.
Here's Brooks. He has an early 7 for the Rebels. Here's Gielo, left-handed 3. No. Weak side rebound to Casey Hill. Hill all the way. And he got tripped up.
Wonderful transition out on the break, the Florida Gators. Look, Rich, this is like a 4-on-2 situation. Casey Hill breaks it off into a 2-on-1. Nice pass, nice finish. That's what Casey Hill does best. When he's in transition, getting into the lane and making other guys better.
Casey Hill will be shooting 2. And before he stepped to the free throw line, he motioned to his bench that he needs to take a breather. He's been working hard at both ends of the floor in his time.
He really has, because when Moody comes down and passes the ball, Casey Hill's denying him the basketball back.
And now wholesale substitutions, Dino. Brandon Francis Ramirez, Justin Leon, and Chris Chiozza all getting set to check in.
So you'll see Chiozza go to Moody now. And what you're seeing Michael White do is put a fresh guy on him throughout the game.
Hill hits them both. Moody, two-man game with Saiz. Scramble for the loose ball, and Florida has it. Skip pass, Hill all alone. Yes! He's been a bit of an enigma in his Florida Gators career, but he's playing well right now.
He really is, and Devin Robinson with the nice find. Had his head up, vision, saw the open shooter, and Casey Hill delivered.
The 6'1" junior from Umatilla, Florida, by way of Montverde, and he knocks down his first triple attempt.
Yeah, that's not his forte, as we know, only 27% from behind the three-point line. But what the kid does is, if he gets on a roll, he can knock him down, Rich. That's a good sign for Florida.
Well, next week on ESPN, it's a big Monday doubleheader starting at 7 Eastern. NC State taking on number 7 Virginia, the hottest team in the ACC right now. Followed at 9 Eastern when Oklahoma State faces number 6 Kansas, all part of Rivalry Week presented by Wendy's. And Kansas, talk about a gauntlet. They're going to Saturday to take on Oklahoma. And they just got by West Virginia in a little bit of revenge.
And here's what Joe has is his number 1 and 2 seeds. Rich, by the end of the season, just put all those 8 teams in a hat. Yeah. We'll just pull them out. Who might be a 1, who might be a 2. But I like where he has those teams right now.
We'll examine some SEC bracketology a little later in the game. Right now, Lenardi has 5 SEC teams in, and Vanderbilt on the bubble.
Vanderbilt is one of the first 4 out, but they're the first team that's out. So a little run by the Commodores will get them in the field as well. Anthony Jordan with the call on Chiozza. And I like what Chiozza's doing. Moody is such a volume shooter. If he doesn't have it, he can't shoot it. So he's playing him before he catches the ball.
They try the dribble handoff. They get it into the hands of Moody. Dives into the lane and an offensive foul. That's number 3.
That's what we talked about. He cannot pick up his 3rd foul with a charge. Now he's got to sit the rest of the half. A lot of contact right there, Rich.
I asked Andy Kennedy before the game, who's your X factor tonight? He said, Stephon Moody is. If he doesn't play well, if he doesn't shoot well, they don't have a chance to win.
Well, it's a 10-point game right now with 8.5 to go, and Moody goes to the bench. So it'll be interesting to see where Ole Miss tries to generate point productivity from.
Where do you think they'll go?
Well, I think they have to go to Newby has to score for them. Brooks has to score for them. It'd be nice if Saiz could score inside.
Right. Stolen away. Fitzpatrick Dorsey brings it up. Seldom used freshman getting extended minutes recently. Diallo, no. Offensive rebound, Saiz. He lost it, they got it back. And Ole Miss has the bucket.
And that's what they got to do. They got to scratch and claw for every basket till they get into the half and get Moody back for the second half.
Why are you holding your gun?
15-5 Florida run has given them the 22-14 lead with another timeout on the floor. 7:33 to go in the first half. And the leading scorer in the SEC will be a spectator for most of the half.
Kansas at Oklahoma, a rematch of the game of the year. College Game Day live from Oklahoma, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Alongside Dino Gaudio, I'm Rich Hollenberg. Only a game between Kansas and Oklahoma could be played at 2:30 Eastern and be considered prime time on a Saturday.
It better be prime time. How about the first one those two had?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Stephon Moody, one of the best scorers in the nation, not named Buddy Hield. He's on the bench for Andy Kennedy's club, saddled with 3 fouls, and there's still 7.5 to go against the Gators in the first half. Florida in the midst of an 8-game home win streak in the SEC. Stolen away by Hill. Leon wisely resets. Sloppy play in the first half by
It really is. A lot of turnovers by both teams.
Hill, no. Fitzpatrick Dorsey with the rebound. Ole Miss has won 3 of their last 4 contests, but they're in trouble early here in Gainesville. One and done.
Rich, that's the 9th one and done for Ole Miss. So they got to get second shot opportunities, and they got to take the ball to the rim more.
Finney Smith, no. Saiz the rebound.
Now, Fitzpatrick Dorsey in the one game that Moody missed against Mississippi State, this kid had 16 points, so he has possibilities of scoring the ball for Ole Miss.
Sebastian Saiz showing us why he was highly regarded coming into this season as a junior out of Madrid. Finney Smith forced it up off the window.
Boy, when you got to guard a 4-man, it's a 3-point shooter, and then he has the ability to shot fake, put the ball on the floor, and go strongly to the rim, as Dorian Finney-Smith did there. That's a tough cover.
Stay tuned in the second half. Dorian Finney-Smith joins Dino Gaudio for Gaudio's game film. Won't want to miss that. Chiozza, left hand, no. Tipped, saved, Hill alone. Nothing but air. And blocked at the other end. Bodies fly. It's going to stay Ole Miss basketball.
Rich, because Finney-Smith shoots the basketball so well, he has the ability to shot fake, put the ball on the floor. Nice use of the glass and the backboard. Boy, he's become an outstanding. If it wasn't for that guy, Ben Simmons, down at LSU, that kid might be the player of the year in the SEC.
Fitzpatrick Dorsey knocks down his first free throw, 76% shooter. John Igbunu comes back off the bench for Mike White. He's had a good first half with 6 points.
Rich, now the Florida backcourt really struggled at Rupp against Kentucky. The 3 guards were combined 4 for 21, 2 for 9 from threes. They're not shooting the ball well tonight, beside the 1-3 that Casey Hill made. So Florida's guard play is really critical for those guys being successful.
Florida 9 for 22 in the first half, 7 for 20 for the Rebs. 2-possession ball game. Kayvon Allen, no. And Finney-Smith gets the offensive rebound. One of the specialties for the Gators is picking up their misses, and they capitalize.
Boy, Kayvon Allen, what a good player he's going to be. Just a freshman, tough, hard-nosed, can play off the bounce, as we just saw right there.
Mike White told us he had to re-recruit Kayvon Allen after Billy Donovan left. There's a 3 by Rasheed Brooks. He leads all scorers with 10 and has 2 triples already tonight. Don't look now, just a 5-point lead for the Gators. And that call looks like it's going against Florida.
Was that a walk they called?
That's the 6th Florida turnover. Mike White's team 3rd in the conference in fewest turnovers for their team, 11.7 a game. They already have 6. That foul is going to go on freshman Allen.
Well, the scouting report tells you on Giello, he's left-handed. That's where his speed and strength is. So when you're facing him, play him a half a man to his left. Make him go to the right. He's not nearly as quick or as explosive.
And there he drains the 3, and that's what Andy Kennedy likes from his big man. Tomas Giello with the 3 gives him 4 points, and all of a sudden, Ole Miss is right back in this within a bucket.
And you're seeing Giello step up. Same thing with Brooks, has had an outstanding first half.
Timeout on the floor, 4.5 to go. We've got a tight one from Gainesville.
Matt Chick, Adrian Branch coming your way at halftime. I showed you just a few moments ago. Roy Williams, scary situation, collapsing in a team huddle there as North Carolina takes on Boston College. The school tweeting out that he suffered from a little dizziness. He is okay. More updates as they come in when we return. And also at half, some highlights. Kentucky taking on Georgia. See you then.
Thank you, Matt. North Carolina has their hands full up in Chestnut Hill against the Boston College Eagles, and concern for their coach, Roy Williams. Of course, we wish him well. That head coach right there, Andy Kennedy, got to be happy with his team's performance. They were down big and have clawed their way back, a 12-4 run since his star, Stephon Moody, went out with his 3rd foul. All of a sudden, they're within 2, Dino.
And thanks to Brooks and thanks to Giello, who's played very well in Moody's absence. And Rich, Ole Miss living off of the Florida turnovers. They had 11 points off Florida turnovers, and that's where they're getting half of their points. That's great to hear about. I'm sorry, Coach Williams. And Steve Kirshner, the SID, tweeted out he had a dizzy. He's fine now. And Steve Robinson, the former coach at Florida State, coaching that team right now.
3 on the shot clock for the Gators. Leon had to force it up, and it's a shot clock violation. Number 1, Martavius Newby will check in for number 3, Terrence Davis.
Part of what Mike White and I were talking about at the shoot-around today, getting his guys mentally ready to play after they beat Ole Miss so badly down in Oxford. And then Moody goes out. These guys can't relax a bit because Ole Miss is playing really well right now.
Yellow, confident with the ball. Nice up fake. Can't get it to go. And Chiozza comes away with it. Point guard they refer to as Cheese here at the O'Connell Center. Finney Smith drains the triple.
You know what I liked about it? Chiozza didn't over-penetrate. He wasn't too deep in the lane where he couldn't kick it out. Those Florida point guards are fearless, but they can't be reckless. That was a great decision right there by Chiozza.
Five on the shot clock. Fitzpatrick Dorsey showing some stones for the freshman.
If Dorian Finney-Smith is going to switch that, he has to step up on the switch so he takes away the 3.
Fitzpatrick Dorsey averaging over 7 points a game in his last 5 contests. He has 5 here tonight. 2-point Gator lead.
Back to the zone for Ole Miss.
Chiozza. Fade away, no good. Another offensive rebound for the Florida Gators. Look at it, Booner. They wave it off, traveling violation. That's the 7th turnover for the Gators.
And that's the 2nd walk on Egbunu, Rich. What he needs to do is play the game a little lower. If he's lower, he has better body balance, and he won't walk. Yeah, bend your knees and play the game low.
Chance to tie or take the lead for the Rebs. Giello gets it to go.
And again, which way is he going? Left with his dribble, which is where his speed is.
The Ole Miss Rebels have responded with their leader on the bench. Tipped away, fight for the loose ball. Chiozza comes away with it. Big jump stop. And he lost it. Tied up underneath. Did Ole Miss call a timeout? No, it's a jump ball. Well, they met January 4th at Allen Fieldhouse, and now the rematch is set for Saturday at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN. Number 6, Kansas. Number 3, Oklahoma. Buddy Hield at 46 in their first game, that triple overtime loss. Now they get him at home. That'll be a fun one this Saturday afternoon.
And how about the shot he hit the other night? Wow. Hit the, what, 1.3 seconds to go, the game winner?
Snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. Ole Miss has 13 points off of Gator turnovers. Here's Brooks, in and out.
I know one thing. Martavius Newby, man, he scraps. He plays a lot bigger than 6'3".
Yeah, he's 6'3", but he's 218 packed into that 6'3".
He's like a linebacker. Tough, high motor,
Yeah.
strong physical presence.
Andy Kennedy calls him sturdy as a fire hydrant. How's that for a descriptive? Newby will inbound. Minute and a half to go in the first half. Giello. Rebound to Igbunu. Allen, transition, three.
Some guys shoot threes at the end of the shot clock. Some shoot at the beginning. That guy right there, he can shoot it whenever he wants.
He was 6 for 7 from beyond the arc at the Pavilion in their win earlier. Saiz swatted out of bounds by Devin Robinson. And Saiz is arguing with Tony Green. He wants a foul called on that. Chiozza, pull-up three.
See, I don't think he's an early shot clock three-point shooter.
Igbunu having himself a good first half. 8 points for the redshirt sophomore.
When Igbunu has the ball in the post, you have to guard his second move because he's always going to fake on the first one and step through like he did there. But I liked it because he was strong with his tape.
Size-wise, Ole Miss really doesn't have an answer for Igbunu.
4-second differential.
Nice leave. Newby, no. And they wave it off. It'll be Florida basketball with 11.3 in the half.
Boy, I don't like that call. A terrific official, but I don't like this call. I don't think he's set. I don't think he's set.
10 seconds for the Gators to squeeze one off. 5 seconds. Robinson. And 2.4 seconds left on the shot on the clock. And Ole Miss commits a foul.
Yeah, really unintelligent play by an intelligent kid, Martavius Newby, a senior. Be the second guy off the floor. Yeah, it's absolutely a three.
Yeah. That goes from a sin to a cardinal sin.
Mortal sin. Who said they?
The freshman committing mortal sins.
Like I said, dumb foul by a smart player.
So 2.4 left. Devin Robinson now has 3 points and 2 more free throws coming. A 71% free throw shooter this season. 2 for 2. But Stephon Moody has been relegated to cheerleader for the Ole Miss Rebels for the large part of this first half, saddled with 3 fouls.
But Rich, you always tell your guys, and you know AK, Andy Kennedy told him, like, listen, on offense, you have 2 fouls. Make sure you don't pick up a third with a charge, and that's exactly what he did.
That one falls off. Saiz from beyond half court. No good. And we go to halftime. The Gators sporting a 7-point advantage over the Ole Miss Rebels. Stephon Moody. Ole Miss has actually outscored the Gators since he's been on the bench, but they'll need him in the second half. Our score, Florida 36, Ole Miss 29. Now, the ESPNU halftime report. Welcome back to Super Tuesday, presented by Hotels.com. You're watching the SEC on ESPN from the University of Florida, where the homestanding Gators lead the Rebels 36-29. Back inside the O'Connell Center on the campus of University of Florida, alongside Dino Gaudio, I'm Rich Hollenberg. And Dino, the good news for the Gators is they're up 7 on the Rebels, but their play is predicated by how well their guards play, and their guards have not performed all that well. What's been wrong?
They haven't, Rich. They didn't perform well at Kentucky, and in the first half now, 8 turnovers have led to 13 points for Ole Miss. That's what's giving Ole Miss the point productivity that they have.
So Ole Miss has been able to keep it close. On the flip side, what has Florida done well in the first half?
Well, what they've done well is this kid right here, Kayvon Allen, has shot the ball very well. And we know they can space the floor. They have Allen, as we're seeing right here. Obviously, Dorian Finney-Smith has played well. And what I like is this guy right here, John Egbunu, he's scoring the ball inside against Ole Miss. And like I said, you've got to guard his second move because he always fakes and step through or goes up and under. Those are the good things that Florida's doing. If they take care of the ball, it'll be hard for Ole Miss to score.
And the story for Ole Miss has been the absence of the SEC's leading scorer, 42 in red, Stephon Moody, on the bench for most of the half with 3 fouls. Moody comes away with the rebound. And the good news for Ole Miss, they're 6-4 this season when they trail at the half. The bad news is the Gators are 13-0 when they lead at the half. Saiz short. Egbunu, another rebound.
Well, like we talked about, Saiz has not practiced for a couple of weeks until yesterday with the detached retina that he had surgery on.
Leon had it ripped away by Newby. Here's Brooks. He had a hot hand in the first half and continues in the second half. 13 for Rasheed Brooks.
That's one of the other things that Moody does. He collapses the defense with the penetration, and he has the wherewithal to kick it out.
Moody just 2 points, but he does have 2 rebounds and 2 assists. Egbunu surrounded. And a foul is called. Ron Groover with the call. That's going to go on Saiz.
They have to make sure that when they throw Egbunu the ball, that they're throwing it to him in a position where he could score from. He's too far out on the floor, Rich. They're fortunate they got the foul call.
Egbunu had a solid first half with 8 points. Gators were led by their freshman Kayvon Allen with 10. Inside, and look at Moody using his ups against the big man. He jumped up and out-jumped John Egbunu.
No shot.
Out on the floor, no shot.
But you see the power that Stephon Moody has in transition.
He's like a running back. He's strong. He can play through contact. And down the other end, Rich, another turnover for Florida.
Both teams come in at 15-8 on the season. Ole Miss 5-5 in league play. Florida 6-4. Moody, look out if he gets on track.
Well, when he gets to 15, 17 feet, he could just elevate over smaller defenders. That's what he did right there. That's a good call. That's absolutely a good call. The block on Leon. Now, Rich, he has such good hops. He's so explosive that when he gets to 17 feet, little push off there, but he can elevate right over smaller defenders.
Amazing to think he had left leg surgery over the summer. He had a rod put in his leg, and he's jumping even better than he did before the surgery.
He really is.
Moody again. Look out. Back-to-back buckets for the 7th leading scorer in the nation.
You got to remember, as a freshman, this kid was at Florida Atlantic. He was the Sun Belt Freshman of the Year, then went to junior college, and then to Ole Miss.
And immediately, Mike White says, let's settle down, guys. 18:05 to go. Timeout, Florida. When we come back, Mike White's star, Dorian Finney-Smith, joins Dino Gaudio for Gaudio's Game Film.
Dorian, as a coach, it's invaluable to have a 4-man like yourself that could shoot the 3 because it creates spacing with our offense. Now, we're going to look at a pick and pop action right here. Why is it important for you to initially to set a good screen?
It's important for me to set a good screen because, you know, if I set a good screen, my guy have to show on the ball handler, which, it creates separation for me to get an open shot.
Now, you separate and you make the cut to the corner. Before the ball gets to you, what do you need to do while the ball's in the air to you?
You got to have, good shot preparation. Have your feet, your hands ready, to get the ball off.
Why is that important?
You got to get the ball off faster, and, you know, if you want to head fake, you know, attack the rim, you know, you could do it a lot quicker if you're ready.
Now, you knocked the shot down. You got your swag on a little bit. You're getting back on defense. Now, you're in the bottom of the screen right here, playing D. Now, what do you get more satisfaction out of? Knocking down a three or playing defense?
Probably playing defense, get the stop.
No way. I'm not buying that for a second. You want the three ball.
Hey, it's good. Points is good.
As always, a fun segment every week on Tuesday night. Gaudio's Game Film. Dorian Finney-Smith, 5 games this year with 20 or more points and 8 or more rebounds. That's the most by a Florida Gator since the 07-08 season when Maurice Spates had 7 of those such contests.
And Rich, that 4-man that could shoot that three, that's what gives Egbunu space inside to score the ball as well.
Another turnover, that's 12, and that's over the Gators' season average per game.
20 Ole Miss points off of the Florida turnovers.
It's the reason why we have a tie game in Gainesville. And Moody, a sloppy pass picked off by Hill. And a foul called. Both of these teams going toe-to-toe.
And you're seeing what Michael White's doing when Moody comes off of the 4-man, when the 4-man for Ole Miss screens. Dorian Finney-Smith switches on to him, and Rich, because Finney-Smith can move his feet, he can stay with Stephen Moody, whether he penetrates or gets a hand on a pass like we saw right there.
Finney-Smith had 17 points, 10 boards in the win at Oxford earlier this season. Casey Hill with his 6th point of the night. He's a perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line, and nobody in Gainesville could believe that. He's a 55% free throw shooter.
Now, let's see if Moody has the ball. He calls for the screen with Egbunu because Egbunu cannot switch that screen.
Look at the defense by Hill. He's up in Moody's jersey. Moody to Newby. And Newby gets fouled. Next week on ESPN, Big Monday. It's a doubleheader starting at 7. NC State taking on 7th-ranked Virginia, followed at 9 Eastern, when Oklahoma State faces number 6 Kansas, all part of Rivalry Week presented by Wendy's. Kansas coming off a win tonight against West Virginia. Then they go to Oklahoma to battle the Sooners in Norman, and then they have to take on Oklahoma State on Monday night.
And I'll tell you what, the Cavaliers look like the team of old. They're really defending, they're scoring the ball. Good win tonight against Virginia Tech, who beat them earlier in the season in Blacksburg.
Well, he played only 10 minutes in the first half, saddled with 3 fouls, and already this half he has back-to-back buckets. And the Gators are only up 1 on the Rebels. We have not heard the last from Stephon Moody.
Big shot taker and big shot maker, as we saw last year in this gym.
Newby has 3. We're knotted up again at 37 this time. 17-15 to go.
Boy, Andy Kennedy changes defenses so often. It keeps you off balance when you're on offense.
Hill, here's a pick and pop situation. Finney-Smith gives it up to Hill. 8 on the shot clock. Hill. No. Robinson offensive rebound and a fresh 30 for the Gators.
Yeah, you saw Moody. He was Ole defense right there on that one. He was afraid of picking up his 4th foul.
Hill for 3. In and out. Chance to jump on top on the road for the Ole Miss Rebels. They're 5-5 on the road this year, but just 1-3 away from home in the SEC. Spot up 3, not that time for Brooks. And John Egbunu is really controlling the glass for the Gators.
You know what, Rich? He's playing like a big guy. He's playing like he's 6'11", 250. Bad decisions with the ball. Just bad decisions. Odell Beckham Jr. couldn't have caught that pass right there. He was 3 feet away from him, and he threw it 100 miles an hour.
Number 5 in red, Mark Canvas. Hyman checks in for Andy Kennedy's club.
Florida wants to play fast, but they're playing like 100 miles an hour when they need to play like 80 miles an hour.
Here's Moody. Dribble handoff. Brooks almost lost it. Newby. Yellow alone. Yes. good ball movement by the Rebs.
That's a great possession by Ole Miss. They kicked it in, out, and then the baseline drive to the drift pass to the corner.
An 11-1 run, temporarily stopped by Devin Robinson, who matches a three-pointer.
Baseline runner now for Stephen Moody, coming off those baseline screens.
Moody doesn't need a lot of space, couldn't squeeze that one off. Finney Smith, transition three. That's how it's done.
One of the ways he gets those threes is in transition. You called it, Rich. Stepped right into the line.
And you can see the frustration on Stephon Moody's face.
Florida's a different team when they're making threes, Rich. Wow, when you're in transition, you have to find the guys that can knock the threes down. This guy right here is one of them, a four-man with deep three-point range.
Super Tuesday presented by Hotels.com, 14:37 to go. Ole Miss trailing Florida by 3, and it's been a frustrating night for Stephon Moody.
It really is, and when he catches the ball here, Rich, all he has to do is dribble it. He has his dribble, and he could dribble out the whole shot clock if he wanted to, but you just can't hold it. That's why he got the 5 count. You know what? He's in a little tete-a-tete there, a little one-on-one with his buddy. They're pushing each other, and I think he just completely lost the fact that the referee was counting him off.
Yeah.
If he'd have just dribbled, that would have did away with the 5 count.
A couple of Florida kids going at it. Credit Casey Hill, 0 and White, the point guard. He has done yeoman-like work on Stephon Moody all night tonight. And that's why he remains in the game right now. Here's Finney Smith. Dodo off the window.
Wow, we're seeing his whole game. The trail 3, he has the ability to put the ball on the floor and finish at the rim as well.
12 points, 5 boards for Dorian Finney-Smith. Back up to a 5-point advantage for the Gators. Moody, little one-on-one now. Here's Gielo. Yes! 4th 3 for Tomas Gielo. Make that his 3rd 3, but he has 12 tonight.
Well, Rich, when Moody came off the screen, that was Gielo that set the screen, and that was Casey Hill that was on him. You can't lose vision of that guy. That's one of the things he can do is shoot it.
Kayvon Allen with the ball. Hasn't scored in the second half. He had 10 in the first. Post feed, and then Bunu rewards with the bucket to give him 10.
And I like where Egbunu caught the ball deep into the lane. Look where he's at, Rich. He's almost in the restricted area arc. And that's where he could score the ball from. And like I said, always guard his second move. Went over to one shoulder, came back with the other. And I like the range he has on his jump ball.
And you're asking a lot of a 6'7" redshirt freshman, Marcanvis Hyman, to body up 6'11" John Egbunu.
Absolutely, because, as we know, Sebastian Saiz is not completely healthy and not in game shape coming off of the retina surgery.
Ole Miss has won 3 of their last 4. The Gators have an 8-game home win streak in the SEC. Right now, advantage Gators by 4, 13 to go. Nice stop and go. Saiz had it swatted. The follow, no. Here come the Gators. And the foul's going to be called frustration foul on Rasheed Brooks.
Boy, that was a really good defensive possession for Florida. Mike White has to be happy with his defense there. And then, just as importantly, they wrapped up the possession with the rebound.
And the offense for Mike White's Bucks starting to pick up. They started this half 0 for 3. They've hit their last 4 shots.
Well, Rich, like I said earlier, when this team's making threes, they're a different team because they're really challenged offensively. We see Ole Miss back in the 1-3-1 trap.
Perez with the closeout, but Robinson with the baseline three.
Really intelligent play by Casey Hill.
And Stephon Moody calls timeout, Ole Miss. They have 2 remaining. Danger zone for the Rebels on the road, down 7 to the Gators.
Who is the real #1?
You want great players? We got great players. What a great individual performance by Hill. Show me a better offensive player.
Take a deep breath if you need. But we have just watched a classic.
Well, come this time of year, most of us are doing our taxes. Joe Lunardi is doing his brackets. And as we see what's trending in college basketball, this is hot off the presses. The latest update moments ago from Joe Lunardi. Oklahoma and Kansas both projected as 1 seeds, which sets up even more for Saturday's rematch.
Well, when Kansas beats West Virginia, they jump up to the 1 seed. Carolina did win. Close game, 68-65 over Boston College in Boston. And Virginia continues the roll as well, Rich. They're on the 2 line.
Yeah. They're the hottest team in the ACC, 7 straight wins for them.
2 Big 12 teams on the 1 line, 2 ACC teams on the 2 line.
Here's Moody.
Boy, he's strong. Just ripped that ball right out of there.
7 to shoot. Moody. How did he even get that shot off? Lee on the rebound. Here's Igbunu. And he threw it to no one in particular.
That's not his game. One bounce, if you don't feel comfortable, just kick it out. That's a tough pass for him to make.
The closest Gator to that ball was Mick Hubert, the radio play-by-play guy for UF. Here's Moody. Dishes, Newby. And they call the foul. So Martavius Newby will go to the line.
You know what I like about Moody right there? Like, have confidence in yourself, which he does, but have confidence in your teammates too. When you draw 2 guys, don't be afraid to make that pass. Good pass, foul. Newby's on the line right now. Good leaders, Rich, elevate other guys on their team. Stephen Moody doing that right there.
And Newby hits the free throw. Dorian Finney-Smith back in. Justin Leon to the bench for the Gators. Moody with 6 points tonight. That's over 18 points under his SEC scoring average.
I like what I'm seeing out of Ole Miss tonight, because every time they've answered the bell. When Moody got into foul trouble in the first half, other guys stepped up. Andy Kennedy calls a timeout. They come right back and score the conventional play.
Yeah, it's
still, it was 2, right?
Yeah, it wasn't
2.
3. Hey, it's still a 5-point game.
Yes. But they're responding to the Florida runs.
Right. And with number 42 on your team, you always have a puncher's chance.
If you're in striking distance, he could always throw the knockout punch.
He did it last year, a game-winning, buzzer-beating 3-pointer. And Igbunu gobbles up another rebound.
Go up with it.
He does. Comes up short. Allen grabs the offensive board. Too strong. Brooks the rebound for Ole Miss.
Good job, Kayvon Allen in transition.
Yeah, Kayvon Allen draws the assignment on Moody. Moody knocks it down. My goodness. That's his first 3 of the night. Can you give a guy 4 points for distance?
Wow, it's way beyond the NBA line right there. The collegiate line, 20 feet, 9 inches. He's a good 4 feet, 5 feet behind it.
It's a 2-point ball game. Inside Igbunu. Great position. 12 points for John Igbunu.
Really good ball screen offense by Florida. Poor ball screen defense by Ole Miss.
Moody this time takes it into the paint, kicks it out. Yellow, no. And Robinson grabbed the rebound on his keister.
That's his long arms.
Here's Finney-Smith. Fight for the rebound. Out of bounds. It'll be Ole Miss basketball. Let's take a look at that Moody three.
Well, watch Dorian Finney-Smith on the switch right here. He's got to step up. He's at the teeth of the gator right there, Rich.
That's about where he hit that game winner last year to give Ole Miss the 62-61 win.
You can't just switch laterally. You have to step up and meet him as he's coming off that screen.
Now Moody around multiple screens. Counting down to 10 minutes to go. Newby pulls his way to the basket and draws the foul again.
I'm not sure why Devin Robinson is digging down on the post right there. They're staying attached to Moody. See Robinson come down. He loses vision of his guy. Then he's not in position to recover when it's kicked back to him.
Artavius Newby, a 65% free throw shooter. He's 3 for 4 tonight, make it 4 for 5. And now Chris Chiozza comes in for Kayvon Allen. Allen had 10 points in the first half, Tina, but scoreless so far in the second.
Newby's only 22% Rich from behind the three-point line. So if you're going to dig down on the post, you got to stay have vision of him, because if he catches it like he did right there, he's going to drive it.
Chiozza, right off the bench, and he nails the three.
Boy, he needed that one. 0 for 4 from the field prior to that shot.
2-possession ball game. Another turnover. And it may lead to points, but Casey Hill's going to have to go to the line and earn those points.
Well, they put Egbunu into the ball screen, and Casey Hill, wonderful job of digging on that pass to the roll guy.
And that turnover by Stephon Moody is his 6th tonight. He had 6 turnovers the first time these two teams played.
Boy, when your point guards don't take care of the ball. Now, I know this kid has the ball in his hands 80% of the time for Ole Miss, but decision-making is just as important as your skill set. We know this kid could shoot the ball and score the ball. And as we're seeing, 2 games against Florida, 12 turnovers already, and we still got 9.5 minutes to play.
Casey Hill doing a good job at the free throw line tonight, 5 for 6. He has 8 points.
And he's doing a really good job of getting into Stephon Moody.
Here's Perez. Went right up against Kavarius Hayes, and they get the foul on Hayes.
I'll tell you, the hardest thing to do in our game is guard the ball one-on-one, especially with the advent of the new rules. Can't use your hands. To be good defensively, you got to have anticipation, lateral quickness, and good core strength, Rich, to keep the ball in front of you when you can't use your hands.
So here's Perez, his first point of the night. He was held scoreless the last time these two teams met. But in Sebastian Saiz's absence over the last 6 games, Anthony Perez has averaged 10.5 points and 5 boards a game.
I'm telling you, against Vanderbilt, under a minute, he had a huge conventional three-point play. Caught it at the top of the key, drove down the right side of the lane, finished, and then made the and one.
Hayes out at Bunu, back on the floor for Mike White's club.
Little contained press by Ole Miss.
Robinson inside. Finney-Smith. 14 for the senior.
Superb press offense by Florida. Got the ball to the baseline and right into the middle to Finney-Smith.
Look out. Stephon Moody will shoot it from there.
Watch Florida. They kick the ball to the corner on the rotation. Really nice find. That's Perez's job to step up there and take this pass away. He's a half a step late, and it cost him.
And they had to respect Robinson, who had hit previously a 3 from that exact spot. That's 3 fouls on Casey Hill. And why is that important? Because he's done the bulk of the work defensively against Stephon Moody tonight.
So I think what you'll see Mike White do is put Chiozza back on Moody.
Saiz misses the front end of the 1-and-1. And Yellow got the offensive rebound, and they converted into points.
What a nice game he's having. Like, Ole Miss changes defenses so often. You can't worry about what they're in. hey, we're running our zone offense. I don't care if you're 1-3-1, 2-3, 1-2-2.
Chiozza takes Moody off the dribble.
Well, you're seeing Stephon Moody. He's afraid to pick up that other extra foul, Rich. So I like it. If I got the ball, I'm going to attack him because he's afraid to guard right now.
Now Moody attacks and kicks, and a three from the corner is in and out. Gators have a chance to make it a double-digit lead again.
Now Casey Hill has to be careful with three. He doesn't want to pick up a fourth foul going to the basket with a charge.
Chiozza will try again, top of the key, way off the mark.
They switched the 4 and the 1. That's why Dorian Finney-Smith's on Moody.
Moody almost lost it. He did. Scrap for the ball like Bunu and Moody. Who's stronger? I don't know.
That's a good question right there. 6'11", 255, and the other guy's just 5'11". Man, they're scrapping on the floor. That's why we have a great game tonight.
Matt Chick back in the studio with this update. We showed you earlier Roy Williams collapsing, attributed to vertigo, as he said after the game. Didn't feel well enough to finish, but did come out onto the court to shake hands and wave to fans afterwards. Roy Williams, going to be all right, guys.
Oh, that's the best news we've heard all night. Thank you, Matt Schick. Roy Williams, we wish you well. North Carolina got the win tonight in Chestnut Hill against Boston College. And here's a look at your SEC standings. And it is by no stretch a runaway by any team. LSU all alone in first, but everybody within a couple of games here.
No question, everybody in striking distance. And, Rich, what we had here on the floor, the tie-up, it was Ole Miss ball. So they look, the shot clock stays at 13 right here.
Moody grabs the ball. Chiozza on him. Giello. Left hand. Pretty move by Tomas Giello, who has 16 for the third game in a row.
Wow, he has really stepped up his game with the absence of Saiz. The transfer from Liberty does a little bit of everything. He rebounds it. We know he could shoot the three, and he is a hard driver.
Bunu. Left hand. 14 for the big man.
Playing big against the diminished Ole Miss front line with Saiz on the bench.
Moody. Moody's like a ticking time bomb. He's a threat to go off at any moment.
But Florida's making their priority on defense, Moody, so he's drawing a crowd.
He lost it, and the foul's called.
You ask yourself, what is the focal point defensively? And obviously for Florida, it's this kid right here. That's why he's drawing such attention. Florida wants other guys to beat him.
And they're going to give him 3 shots on that. Stephon Moody, not only one of the best scorers in the nation, also one of the best free throw shooters. 85% on the season. He's made his last 16 from the stripe.
Well, Rich, in the game against Vanderbilt, obviously a really intelligent basketball team, they fouled him twice in the first half beyond the three-point line. 6 free throws off those 2 fouls on Saturday.
Moody in double digits now with 10 points. Well below his 23.5 average.
Yeah, Rich, but I tell you what, they stay in striking distance. We saw what he could do last year, the big shot he made to win it.
Two out of 3 from the line for Stephon Moody. Some full court token pressure.
Now, keep attacking him. Make him guard you. Now, it's a little easier because they're staying in zone to protect him right now. Little 1-2-2 defense by Ole Miss with Moody on the top.
Chiozza.
I don't like that shot.
Yeah, he's been real bold with his 3-point stroke tonight. Chiozza 2 for 8 from the field.
Boy, Rich, since we had Florida earlier in the year, Egbunu is really growing into a low post presence.
Florida basketball.
Posting harder, wider, like to play big inside. That's a wide base, a loud voice, showing your arms like you want the basketball. He's doing that. That's what playing big is.
Chiozza again off the mark with the three. And a big offensive board by Robinson. And the call goes against the Gators.
A little bit of an NBA loose ball foul over the top. There's the missed shot. Robinson. Boy, it looks like they were just both going up for that one.
Robinson almost a victim of his own hops. Wow, that's a tough call.
Yeah, a tough call.
And that sends Rasheed Brooks to the line.
If you're Mike White, I'm happy, not with the foul, but I'm happy my guys are going that hard to the offensive glass. I'll eat that one.
The Reptiles are rowdy in the O'Connell Center.
Only 59% from the free throw line, Rasheed Brooks. Now, if you're Florida, don't assume anything. We got a box here. Who's got the shooter? We're talking on the free throw line.
One for two for Brooks. He has 14 to match his total the last time these two teams played.
Now, know who deserves the basketball. It's number 10. It's number 4.
Finney Smith. No, the follow slam by Robinson.
He didn't care he got that early foul. Right back to the offensive glass.
Moody. They wave it off. Offensive foul. And that's going to be number 4 on Stephon Moody. Andy Kennedy biting a hole through his bottom lip at that call.
Yeah. Tough call for his 4th. Got to stay with him, though. 5.5 to play. Turnovers.
Unforced error, and Mike White. Good thing he has a crew cut. He'd pull his hair out of his head on that one.
Let's see as Moody penetrates to the lane right here.
And they called him for hooking with his arm.
Yeah. Tough for your 4th. He did, though. He wrapped around.
So here comes Moody, 11 points on the night. His team down 7, counting down to 5 minutes to go. Moody again. This time he doesn't miss. 13.
And you see what they're doing. They're attacking Egbunu, making him show on that ball screen action. Let's see what the adjustment that Mike White does with that. See, Rich, if Finney Smith or Devin Robinson sets the screen, Florida can switch it. But Egbunu doesn't have the lateral quickness to switch that screen. That's why Moody takes advantage of him when he shows on those ball screens.
Finney Smith, the screen. Chiozza, 6 on the shot clock. He takes it to the hole against Saiz. And a shot clock violation. Good defensive stand by the Rebels.
I like when Chiozza took it to the basket, but you know what? Sometimes you can't take it all the way to the rim. Just shoot that little pull-up from 7 or 8 feet. Use the glass. He had a perfect angle right there.
Moody puts his head down. And the foul's on the floor. Stephon Moody will go back to the line, and he'll be shooting 2. Double bonus situation for Ole Miss. They're shooting 2 free throws every subsequent foul with 4:34
We're
left.
seeing every time down the floor now. Moody putting Egbunu in a ball screen, and twice now he's gone to the free throw line. And I like Andy Kennedy. Keep going to that action until they defend it.
The numbers starting to creep up a little bit now for Stephon Moody. He has 14 points tonight.
And Rich, in SEC play, he goes to the free throw line nearly 10 times a game, and that's where he's going right now.
Finney Smith. And they're going to get the foul on the floor.
I like it because Giello doesn't have the lateral quickness to keep him in front of him. So Finney Smith, smart move, strong drive.
Dorian Finney-Smith will be shooting 1 and 1. Finney-Smith with 14 points tonight to go along with 6 rebounds.
Boy, what a nice stroke.
.24 points against Auburn, 22 against Arkansas, 24 against one of the best defenses in the country in West Virginia.
3 straight 20-point games out of number 10.
He has 16 tonight, and the lead is 6 for the Gators. Moody on the curl.
Boy, they're fortunate. That was not a good pass by Newby.
Moody got fouled, and he'll go back to the line. And when we return, Stephon Moody will be looking to add to his point total. Under 4 to go. It's a 2-possession ball game from Gainesville.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Hotels.com, the obvious choice for hotels.
NBA D-League action coming your way. Reno and Santa Cruz. Oh, they're moving now. 15 minutes away. Reno Bighorns, first place in the Pacific Division. It's coming up next here on the U. Guys?
And, you know, a lot of people think that we box ourselves into just talking about college hoops.
Not us, Rich.
NBA D-League, this is a good game coming up after
No question. Reno Bighorns, Sean Kemp, Ricky Lito, formerly of Providence. And then
right.
Santa Cruz, our guy Aaron Kraft from Ohio State. Ronnie Brewer from the Razorbacks. That's some good basketball coming up with some former great college players.
That's right. That'll be following us on ESPNU. But we still have a 2-possession ball game here, with the nation's 7th leading scorer and the SEC's top scorer, Stephon Moody, at the line. He's been held in check, just 14 points tonight. Make it 15. Dino, 19 out of 22 games this season, Stephon Moody scored 20 or more points.
As we know, he always has the ball in his hands, makes good decisions, makes big shots, and Rich, he lives at the free throw line. Nearly 10 free throw attempts per game in SEC play. Now, Ole Miss back in the 1-3-1. When you see this defense, the diagonal pass opposite is what's open.
Hill lost it out of bounds, but it'll stay Florida basketball, 11 on the shot clock.
Now, one of the baseline OBs in the second half, Florida turned it over. So 11 seconds on the shot clock. Most important thing, get the ball in bounds.
Chiozza all alone. They'll let him take that. He's been cold from 3-point range. Scramble for the ball, and Saiz comes away with it. Those dark sunglasses, because Sebastian Saiz missed the previous 6 games after having retina surgery for a partially detached retina. He's played tonight. We weren't even sure if we were going to see him on the floor. He was cleared to play. Andy Kennedy said he hasn't even done so much as run in the last few weeks.
He wasn't even allowed to shoot until yesterday's practice. So I get he was on a bike. He was on a, I guess, the stair climber, but couldn't have a ball in his hands, couldn't even shoot till yesterday.
And Stephon Moody doing his damage from the free throw line. He has 17. There's Saiz. And listen, 6 double-doubles this season. That's Dorian Finney-Smith-like.
It is.
He's averaging almost a double-double this season.
He has really emerged. He led Spain to the bronze medal in the FIBA Under-20 championships. He had 15 and 13 in a win over Russia. So that was 2 summers ago. The summers that these guys are playing on those international teams, Rich, really helped them moving forward to the collegiate game.
Don't look now, but Stephon Moody scored 9 of the last 10 points for Ole Miss. And they're only down 2. Hill, 3. No.
I think Ole Miss is happy if Casey Hill and Chiozza shooting those 3-point shots.
Right. And the foul's going to go on Chris Chiozza.
Wow, I think. You know what? It wasn't on the screener. They're calling Chiozza the foul on Stephon Moody. Rich, when that screen's happening so high on the floor, Egbunu needs to run up there and have a strong voice telling him, pick. When it's that high, you can go under that flat screen.
19 now for Stephon Moody. And what's interesting about that point, Coach, I've been at Florida practices now a bunch of times this season. They communicate. They talk more than any basketball team I've covered this season.
Well, Rich, I would always say you hear good defensive teams because they're always talking and communicating. And teams that talk defensively, that goes a long way to enhancing your defensive positioning and strategy. But that big guy has to run up there and call out that screen with a strong voice.
Moody 8 for 11 tonight from the free throw line. He has 19. Egbunu, and he's fouled.
Boy, he's a strong young guy in there. That's what they need him to be, a low post scorer.
Let's not forget, Dino, 67-66, 2:42 to go. Almost a year ago to the date, it was this kind of a game, and Stephon Moody ended it in heartbreak for the Gator faithful here in the O'Connell Center, hitting a 35-footer to win it.
Not a good free throw shooter right here in Egbunu. Now, let's see if they make any adjustment on these high ball screens. Yeah, trying to get the ball on out of Stephon Moody's hands. I like it.
Now Moody guarded by Robinson. Little mismatch here. 10 on the shot clock. Offensive foul away from the ball, and is that on Moody?
Saiz,
it's on Moody, he's gone.
I think it's on Saiz for the screen.
You're right, Dina. They called it on Sebastian
They called it
Saiz.
an illegal screen. Let's watch him on the left block. I didn't see anything there.
Moody ran off his own player.
Yeah, Moody hit Saiz. Kick it
Double
out.
team. Kayvon Allen's been invisible in the second half. Here's Finney-Smith. Short on the three. Gets his own rebound. And did he call? No, he stepped on the baseline.
I'd rather have that shot by Dorian Finney-Smith. That's one of the two guys, he and Kayvon Allen, taking those shots down the stretch here. See, what Devin Robinson's doing is running at him, Moody, to try to get the ball out of his hands.
Moody, nice lead for Saiz, blocked by Finney-Smith.
Great hustle by Dorian Finney-Smith.
1:40 left, 1-point lead for the Gators. Looking for their 9th straight home win in SEC play, and Mike White wants to talk it over.
Rich, just because your team, the other team's in zone, they're not in charge of your shot selection. In other words, because Ole Miss is in zone doesn't mean we have to shoot threes. We can get the ball inside. We can go to Dorian Finney-Smith off dribble penetration, but don't settle for just jump shots against the zone.
Out of timeouts and out of bound plays, we've seen some uneven play from the Florida Gators. What do you think Mike White's drawing up for them right now?
I think when you're seeing zone, Rich, in the half court, when it's 5-on-5, and that's what we have right here, you want to go screen the zone, you want to go short corner or middle, or attack the gaps of the zone and play for others. Those are the three things you could do when you're in the half court. And then the fourth thing, when that ball is up in the air, offensive rebound, because guys don't have assigned blockouts. Let's see what Michael White comes out with right here. But Chiozza and Casey Hill don't just settle for jump shots. 22 on the shot clock.
And they reset their offense. Casey Hill at the head. Trying to look for Egbunu down low. 10 on the shot clock.
Screen there, right there against the zone.
Hill, foul. Wow. Did they count it? Count it.
They did.
Boy, tough shot. Terrific usage of the glass. Because he used the glass, he was able to absorb the contact, Rich.
Nice pick by Devin Robinson, too, on Moody.
And you know what? A little bit lucky, of course, but he had the wherewithal to get the ball up to the basket. Casey Hill, 55% free throw shooter on the year.
Hill with 10, 3-point Florida lead, 1:15 left. Moody, stop and go. Blocked by Aguno. And a whistle stops play. And that's going to go on Stephon Moody. So with 1:09, there will be no heroics from number 42 tonight.
I like it. Nice call. Watch Robinson step in, give his body up for his teammate. Clearly a secondary defender, but he's outside the restricted area. Big play.
And Stephon Moody's final collegiate game in his home state of Florida. And he'll have to watch the final 1:09.
The last thing he needs is to get a technical.
Tell you, we talked in the open about Florida's defense. They have really shown us something tonight.
Florida, one timeout. Don't go around the zone.
Allen, deep three. Dagger.
Dagger is right. Cold-blooded three-point shot. Kayvon Allen, 27 in game one.
And Andy Kennedy calls timeout with 44 seconds left.
Of the three guards, this is the guy that needs to be shooting the threes. 9 for 11 in game one. Nice pass fake, little dribble penetration. Boy, this kid's going to be a terrific player.
And dare I say, that was Moody-esque from Kayvon Allen.
It was, indeed.
The Rowdy Reptiles love it. It's 90s night here. No one's going to score in the 90s in this game. But it's 90s night. Saved by the Bell, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, they're all in attendance. Terrific collegiate atmosphere, as usual, inside the O'Connell Center. And Mike White looking to defeat his mentor, Andy Kennedy, who is an assistant for at Ole Miss. They beat him once in Oxford, looking to make it a season sweep here tonight. Coming up on Saturday, the rematch of that epic 3-overtime thriller between Kansas and Oklahoma. This time, Kansas will come in ranked 6th. Oklahoma's ranked 3rd, and they're playing this one at the Lloyd Noble Center. Saturday primetime, presented by DirecTV. That game tips off at 2:30 Eastern.
And a big win by Kansas tonight over a very good West Virginia team leading into that game. Now, plenty of time, 2-possession game for Ole Miss. It'll be interesting to see where Andy Kennedy goes with the basketball right here. Rasheed Brooks. And Giello's played very well. Now, you don't need a three. Plenty of time. Drive the ball to the basket. Ole Miss one timeout. Florida one timeout. And let's look at the possession arrow, Rich, with Florida.
Giello has 16. It's his 3rd straight game putting up 16 points for the Ole Miss Rebels. As for Florida, they have won this defensively. 72 points is a good number. They average 74.4 a season. But there is no question that the defense that Casey Hill and Chris Chiozza performed on Stephon Moody, the #1 scorer in the conference, is really the main headline tonight.
As much as those two have struggled on the offensive end of the floor, they've been outstanding defensively, especially tag teaming, if you will, Stephon Moody.
So 46.8 to go. This game by no means over. 2-possession ball game.
Absolutely not. And what Andy Kennedy's telling these guys, okay, listen, let's try to save that timeout. If we score, we're going to get into our, whatever he's calling it, our 55 defense, our full court extend defense. Let's make sure that our big guy is back, but try to score quickly right here, pick up full court man-to-man, deny all entry passes.
Newby, Giello, Perez, Brooks, and the freshman Dante Fitzpatrick Dorsey on the floor because Stephon Moody has fouled out. Giello lost the handle, got fouled.
Perfect scenario for Ole Miss.
And Giello took a shot, almost looks like he got it in the wing there, gripping his right shoulder.
At the line, Thomas Giello. Missing 2 shots.
It looks like it might have been his right arm, which is good because he's left-handed and he's an 85% free throw shooter.
None bigger than these.
Nice touch.
A senior transfer from Liberty has 17 points tonight.
And I like what Andy Kennedy's doing. He has a guy at the scorer's table, Terrence Davis, that if it goes in, the sub comes in and he has a chance to set up his defense.
Some situational substitution.
Absolutely.
To make it a 4-point game. Giello does it.
Horn blows, he puts quickness in for Giello, and now he could deny everything on the inbounds.
They're not guarding the inbounds. Finney-Smith gets it in to Allen, and immediately he's fouled by Terrence Davis. And Kayvon Allen will go to the line and shoot 2, an 88% free throw shooter.
And like we said, Rich, I think, you know, we watched the Ole Miss shoot around at 2, and then we stuck around, and Florida's coming on at 4. And at 3:10, this kid's out here shooting jump shots, Kayvon Allen.
Yeah, first guy on the floor for Florida. A long shot.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. And lathered up, too. He was working up a sweat, working on his jump shot.
Mike White tells the story how when he accepted the Florida head coaching job last May, before he came to accept the job formally and have his press conference, he went to Kayvon Allen's house. He had to re-recruit him after Billy Donovan left for the OKC Thunder.
And you know what? I like what Michael has done. He's given credit to Billy, who's been a great mentor for him, talked to him about the job, said when he got the job, you got to go see this guy right here first off. It's a good thing he did because this kid's a terrific player.
Egbunu checks back in for defensive purposes for Mike White. Here's Fitzpatrick Dorsey. 10-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Giello blocked away by Egbunu. Giello again with the shot fake. Look at Tomas Giello. 20 points, 3 off his career high, and another timeout called, the final one by Andy Kennedy.
You know what, Rich? We had this team earlier, and I haven't seen Giello play as hard as he's playing tonight. I had this team, I should say, in Charleston in November. It was a wonder whether this kid was going to be an SEC player coming out of Liberty. But, man, he has really improved his play. The biggest reason is how hard he plays and with how much energy he plays.
20 points tonight. Makes it a 3-point ball game, 28.4. So the shot clock is off. Possession hour to Florida. And now the Gators will have the ball. Clearly, they're going to want to try and run as much clock off as they can.
Yeah, but you know what? When this ball's inbounded, I think if it is inbounded cleanly to Florida, that Ole Miss will foul.
Yeah.
Now, I think the challenge for Mike White is who does he want to get open here? Who does he want to get the basketball to?
Well, I know these numbers will be a little skewed because Stephon Moody, one of the best free throw shooters in the country, is not in the game. He fouled out. But Ole Miss is 4th in the conference in free throw shooting collectively as a team. Conversely, the University of Florida, 2nd to last in free throw shooting. As a team, they only shoot it at a 64.6% clip.
Well, you want to get the ball to Finney-Smith. You want to get the ball to Kayvon Allen. I know Kayvon missed the free throws down here, but you got to go with the percentages. And like we said, coming in 88% from the free throw line, albeit 4 for 6 tonight. But I want to get the ball to Allen or Finney-Smith.
So far tonight for the Florida Gators, 13 for 19 from the free throw line.
And I like it. His 2 best free throw shooters going to screen for each other, Finney-Smith and Kayvon Allen.
Chiozza will inbounds. He is a 78% free throw shooter. And they give it back to Chiozza. Precious time ticking off the clock. And they get the touch foul on Kayvon Allen. He'll go back to the line. 1 for 2 in his last trip.
They talk about Kayvon Allen, how like quiet he is. He's like the quiet assassin. Doesn't talk much, but man, he lets his game talk for him.
Nothing easy for the Ole Miss Rebels after this contest. They go from one great defensive team to another. They go home, but they have to face the Arkansas Razorbacks. After that, a ranked team on the road in Reed Arena facing the Texas A&M Aggies. As far as Florida is concerned, they have Alabama here at the O'Connell Center, followed by back-to-back road games against Georgia and South Carolina. In and out.
Now you got a lineup for Florida where you can switch all screens.
Good hands by Chiozza. Dorsey on the ground. Robinson comes away with it, and he's fouled by Fitzpatrick Dorsey.
Really good hands. Really good hands by Chiozza. Pick it up. I'll tell you what, Ole Miss shorthanded. They come in here and play very, very hard. And their best player plays limited minutes, the leading scorer in the SEC, and Stephon Moody. And Andy Kennedy not happy if they go down on the losing side, but he has to be happy with his guys' effort.
And Mike White is about to watch his team salt this one away if they can hit a couple of free throws, and Devin Robinson misses the first one. But he was still up in Casey Hill's jersey like Casey Hill was up in Stephon Moody's jersey. A free throw here by the sophomore Devin Robinson could all but ice this game away.
Now, Ole Miss, no timeouts. Five-point game, so you could drive the ball to the basket.
Here comes Brooks. 10 seconds. Brooks lost it, got it back, and made the layup. And the touchdown pass. That'll be the exclamation point for the Florida Gators, who have run their home court winning streak in the SEC to 9 games. They improved to 16-8 on the year, and more importantly, 7-4 in the SEC. That'll do it from Florida. Our final score, Gators 77, Rebels 72. Coming up next, NBA D-League presented by Taco Bell, the Reno Bighorns, and the Santa Cruz Warriors. So let's send you out to Kaiser Permanente Arena in Santa Cruz.